Lex captured Superman and replaces him with a perfect Superman clone. Welcome to our channel, guys. Today we will be recapping the movie, Superman, Doomsday. The movie opens with Lex Luthor claiming that Superman has always helped people without asking for anything back. He is loved by the people, but now it is time for him to die. The scene changes to Lois Lane having an argument with Perry White, the chief editor at the Daily Planet. Perry White tells her that he will not publish her article that is attacking a charity organization led by Lex Luthor. Lois tells Perry that Lex is only using the organization as a front to sell illegal arms on the black market. She then accuses Perry of being on Lex's payroll, which is why he won't approve her article. Upset, she leaves his office. Perry follows her out and tells her that if Superman takes down Lex, he would be happy to print an article on that. This is when he notices Clark Kent standing outside and asks him when he will leave for his flight. Clark assures him that he will make it to the airport on time. Perry leaves after reminding him that he's supposed to write as a foreign correspondent. Clark meets Lois and tells her that he's leaving for Afghanistan soon. However, Lois is busy and lacks interest, but bids him goodbye. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, several scientists use machinery to dig a tunnel to reach the Earth's core. One of the scientists, Dr. Murphy, claims that Lex was planning on inventing a new energy spice by harnessing radiation emitted from the Earth's core. Just then she is interrupted when one of the workers calls out for her. She shows her a strange seal at the end of the tunnel that no one knows about. At the same time, a woman interrupts Lex, who seems to be deep into his thoughts. She tells him that she has an update on Project LexCorps and reveals that the scientists have come across the motherlode. Back at his lair, Superman tirelessly and unsuccessfully tries to find a cure for cancer as another test fails. He begins to feel disappointed about not being able to help humankind more. Just then, Lois walks into the room and begins flirting with him. While the two of them kiss, the scientists at the secret location continue digging. They tell Lex, who had joined them on a video call, that the seal looks like a spacecraft of alien origin. The woman with Lex claims the last time an alien aircraft landed on Earth, they had gotten Superman from it. Lex tells her that this time whatever emerges from the aircraft, he will own it. On his command, the scientists continue digging when one of them accidentally punctures the aircraft. An alien appears in front of Dr. Murphy and starts talking in an alien language. Lex tells her that the alien is warning them about something. Just then a large creature appears in front of them. He goes on a rampage, killing all of the scientists in the cave. Meanwhile, Lois tells Superman that the closer she gets to him, the more distant Clark Kent gets from her. She then asks him for his real name, but Superman refuses to answer. Elsewhere, a man hears his dog barking and leaves his house to check on him. Suddenly the monstrous creature appears behind him and crushes him to death. Seeing the monster's trail of destruction, Lex worries that the authorities might catch his illegal activities. However, the woman with him assures him that Project LexCorps was illegal, but no one knows about it. Lex instructs her to make sure that no one can pin the creature to LexCorps. At the same time, Lois has an argument with Superman. She tells him that she already knows his real identity and does not understand why he will not confirm it. Superman tells her the only reason he's hiding his identity is because he wants to keep her safe. Not pleased by his answer, Lois leaves the room, but the two of them make up soon after. They're interrupted by Superman's robot, who tells them that a matter needs his immediate attention. On the outskirts of Metropolis, the creature attacks a truck driver and causes his truck to crash. The explosion from the truck does nothing to him, and he then makes his way into the city. Meanwhile, the robot tells Superman and Lois that the creature was created by aliens as an ultimate Doomsday soldier. However, they discovered that the creature was not able to differentiate between friend and enemy and would kill any living creature. As the monster makes its way into the city, he is attacked by the army, but their weapons have no effect on the monster. As the military continues their assault, the monster throws a tank at them. This is when Superman arrives to stop the tank and then uses his cold breath to freeze the creature. This only lasts for a second before the creature breaks free of the ice and a fight ensues between him and Superman. Meantime, Lois and her cameraman Jimmy Olsen get on a helicopter so that they can capture the fight. The creature attacks Superman, knocking him out. Just as Jimmy spots where Superman and the creature are, the creature spots them as well and jumps and grabs onto the helicopter. He is about to take the helicopter down, but Superman flies into action and uses his laser vision to take down the creature. He manages to save Lois and Jimmy before the fighting continues. Superman takes a beating from the monster as Lois watches in fear. Just as the monster is about to kill him, he hears a child crying behind them. The monster lets go of Superman and heads towards the child. He is about to kill the child when Superman flies towards him and takes him out into space. Then he punches the monster hard enough that he flies back to Earth and hits the ground. With the monster dead, Superman emerges from the smoke and asks Lois if everyone is safe. She tells him that he had saved everyone. When he hears this, he sighs in relief and then dies. At his funeral, Jimmy is given a business card from Damon Swank, the president of National Voyeur. He'd been impressed with the pictures he had taken of the fight a few days earlier. At the Daily Planet, Perry tells Lois to take time off from work and spend her time with friends and family. This is when she decides to visit Clark's mother. She makes her way to Smallville and tells his mother that she knows about Superman's real identity. She reveals to his mother that they'd been dating for a few months before he died. His mother welcomes her into the home. In the following week, the crime rate rises with Superman's absence. One night, the police gather around a building where a school bus full of children is being held hostage by the Toyman. Lois, who had heard of the incident, makes her way to the roof to rescue the children. She quietly gets inside the bus while the Toyman was distracted and rescues the kids. However, the Toyman notices her just as she was leaving with the last child. He picks up the bus with Lois and the child inside and throws the bus off the roof, when all of a sudden Superman breaks out of his grave and manages to rescue Lois. He takes down the Toyman while everyone celebrates his return. With the Toyman arrested, Superman takes Lois back to her apartment and the two of them kiss. The next morning, as the world celebrates Superman's return, he decides to visit Lex. Lex leads him inside a room where Lex locks him in. Lex appears behind him while wearing Kryptonian knuckles. He punches Superman until he loses consciousness. Lex then pats his face and tells him that he's been doing a good job of convincing everyone that he is Superman. This is when he goes into another room where he has been keeping the real Superman. He tells him that he'd managed to create his clone using his blood from his earlier battle. During this time, Lois visits Jimmy, who'd taken up another job, and tells him that she feels like something's off about Superman and needs his help uncovering the truth. Jimmy, however, is not interested in helping her. Back at LexCorp, where the real Superman is held captive, Superman's robot had managed to break into the facility and take Superman back to his lair where he had left him to heal. Weeks later, when Superman wakes up, he is told by his robot that his vitals had slowed down to allow his body to heal, since the normal laws of death don't apply to him on Earth. Meanwhile, the clone Superman overhears that the Toyman had killed a young child. He goes to the police station where he grabs the Toyman and flies with him into the sky. He then drops the Toyman, killing him. His actions convinced Clark's mother and Lois that he is not the same man they once knew. The next day, Lex warns the clone Superman about acting out. The clone walks into a hair salon where he uses his laser vision to look inside his brain. He finds Lex has embedded lead with Kryptonian stone in his head. He then uses a scissor to take it out before leaving the salon. Meanwhile, Lois goes to LexCorp. She tells Lex she wants to know what he had done with Superman to make him his puppet. He figures out that Lois was Superman's lover and kisses her after telling her that she now needs someone new in her life to protect her. As he kisses her, she injects him with a tranquilizer. She then explores the facility with Jimmy and finds a room filled with Superman clones. Just then, Lex wakes up and points his gun at Lois and Jimmy. Before he can kill them, the clone Superman arrives, trapping Lex in the Red Room. He then throws the room out of the building. Back at his lair, Superman's robot alerts him about an emergency in the city. Superman, wearing his solar suit, takes Lex's kryptonite cannon to weaken the clone Superman. Back in the city, the military gathers around the clone Superman so that they can capture him. However, he is too powerful, using his laser vision to take them down. This is when the real Superman arrives at the scene. A fight breaks out between them. With the real Superman's strength not fully active, he is much weaker than his clone. During the fight, Superman dropped the kryptonite cannon and Lois finds it. She rushes to the battlefield and fires the cannon at the clone but misses. The fight between him and the real Superman continues until the real Superman uses the kryptonite from the cannon and takes the clone down. Superman then reveals his real identity to Lois, while Lex, who had managed to survive, sits pitifully in recovery. Thank you for watching, guys. Please remember to subscribe to this channel for more animated recaps.